All right. We are live. All right, let me just check this. Awesome. Fantastic. Perfect. We are live. Hey everyone, it's me, Nightlord131. Hope you're doing really great today. I didn't stream on Saturday. It was because my grandmother was over and spent time together as a family. I wanted to, stream, but I didn't get the chance to. So, yeah. My apologies, but guess what? We are going to be talking movies today. There was a bunch of cool stuff announced at D23. I have a couple movies here listed. Like, besides Avengers Doomsday, we also have a X-Men movie coming out in 2028. We'll also look at the new Simpsons movie, To Information. Also, Incredibles 3, that's supposed to be coming out. And they're not like, they weren't announced at D23, but I wanted to check out uh, the Fox movie from 2025 that I have yet to see, but it sounds pretty cool, and the trailer was pretty fun. And then we'll look at this movie, and I'll give my general thoughts about that. And also, why not also look into some info about the new Ghost Rider movie, you know? So, yeah. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, uh, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and also join us here on Twitch to be a part of this stream. But for you guys, it's like a YouTube video, extensive, long one. But how's everyone doing today? I'm just waiting for more people to come in because I just started it. But for right now, let's just look at the cast here for a sec. Okay. So while we wait for people to join the stream some more, um, this right now, this is the entire cast for Avengers Doomsday. Let's see. We got Chris Hemsworth supposed to be reprising his role as Thor. We also got Benedict Cumberbatch, who will reprise his role as Doctor Strange. Gambit's going to be returning. That'll be pretty cool. And Robert Downey Jr. will be reprising. Well, he will be coming back, but he's going to be Doom, which I have some thoughts, but we'll talk about that later on when we get to that type of conversation. When it comes to this movie, we're going to start with this one right here. We're going to look at some articles here and there because we're going to get all the necessary information. And by the way, when this stream is over, all the articles that we look up here, they will be provided as links in the description, so you can go and more investigate if you wish. All right. That being said, let's just check this out a bit. Let's go to marvel.com. All right. Marvel Studios unveils X-Men cast. Okay. As we see here, Kevin Feige is here. And these people right here are going to be the main X-Men. If you've seen the movie Spider-Man Brand New Day, this actress right here, I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but she's from Stranger Things, and she actually was Jean Grey, which, that's like, I think she did a good job. I wish that in Spider-Man Brand New Day that we got to see more of her like psychic powers besides the possession ability thing, but yeah, no, I think this will be an interesting thing. All right. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige capped off the Electric Showcase presentation during D23. Oh boy. Ooh, nice. So yeah, no, like we're finally going to be getting an X-Men movie, and it's really cool. Like I say, the person who's going to be playing uh, Charles Xavier, this person, Christopher Abbott, hopefully I said that correctly, will be Professor Charles Xavier, which will be pretty cool. Hmm. This person will play Emma Frost, will be cool. And then we got Kate Connor, who's going to be Scott Summers. And Scott Summers is supposed to be Cyclops, which is cool. We also got this person who was in the movie Obsession, who is going to be Rogue, and that's going to be pretty cool too. And also we got Maya Boyd, who's going to be a Storm. Honestly, like I do hope that like this goes well because when it comes to X-Men, like to be honest with you, out of all the like X-Men, well, excuse me, Marvel characters, I find the X-Men to be such a cool like team and group within, Marvel Comics. To be honest with you, though, like there was a time when I was really invested into like the mutants, and like no, it's like super cool. Like there's so like how do you say this? I'm trying to figure out how I can put this when it comes to X-Men. But like with the X-Men, you can use oh, hi. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing really great today. We're just talking about movies today. Tired, very tired. Oh, I see. Well, hopefully you get some good rest. You know what I mean? My job's kicking my ass. Oh, I get that. I do. Yeah. Well, hopefully now you can just relax and, you know, have a good rest of your day. Lol, I won't. Oh, you don't work tomorrow, but on Monday? Hey, at least you get the time tomorrow to just relax and chill and, nothing else like that, you know? But yeah. What was I going to say? But no, like, to get back to the X-Men, I find the X-Men to be such like a cool group of characters, and they can be used in a lot of different kind of ways. And like hopefully with this new movie coming out, like we don't have that much info about it, but we'll see. Oh, okay. My apologies. My apologies. No, I meant I work tomorrow, but but I'll relax on Monday. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Very happy to hear that. Yeah. I'm sorry if I misread that previously, but yeah. But no, I remember watching Logan after high school. Very fun memory. Yeah, exactly. Um Here, let me check something. I'm going to see if Wolverine is supposed to be in this movie. All right. Maybe let's see if Deadline has anything regarding X-Men. Well, excuse me, regarding Logan. But no, I loved that movie too actually. It was really good. It was based on like those Old Man Logan comics, which is cool. All right. Ooh, I'm afraid to play video. Well, it X-Men's X23 is technically his daughter, but is actually a clone. But for all intents and purposes, yeah, that X23 is his daughter. Hopefully, I don't get copyright strike or whatever. But let's see if we can actually watch this. Xavier Christopher Abbott. This is so cool. Playing Emma Frost, Samara Weaving. Can you guys hear well? As Rogue, Indy Neverend. Nice. I'm sorry to all those people that I butchered their names.
And I'm very proud to introduce as Storm, Maya Boy.
Nice. This is pretty cool. I am super pumped for this movie.
There was also someone else who wanted to be here.
Wait. Let's see what happens. I can't remember this actor's... Wait, what's his name? Well, they'll probably say it. We'll see.
AD-23. Kevin told me to show up for X-Men. I just assumed he meant on set. So instead of being with you all there in California, I'm here.
Nice.
In this very lonely soundstage. Kevin and I have been talking for years about
this is so cool.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think we finally found the perfect film at the perfect time with characters I care very deeply about. So I'm very excited.
Well, he's played Kylo Ren. I can't remember the specific name of the actor. I can't remember his name. But no, like he is pretty good. He is pretty good though. Like there'll be some people that were like, you know, like bashing like I say the later Star Wars films, and you know, like some people were not acting in bad faith when it came to those films, but no, this actor right here, I've watched him in a few films and he's actually pretty good. So, yeah, no, I hope maybe we can find out like who he's supposed to be. But let's let him finish.
Excited to be playing the role of Magneto.
Oh man! Let's go.
Right. Even better. Nathaniel Milbury. So, I'll be right here.
Nice.
Waiting for everybody to show up.
This is
Enjoy
so
your weekend,
cool.
D23.
Man, that's so cool. Like, here, let me just pull up X-Men here. Just give me a sec. Where Deadpool at? I have no... Well, he's... Magneto. Well, there's a less I say. He's probably not going to be in the film. He'll actually he might like be in like a small cameo or like a post credit scene, but it'll be really cool. I know he's not an X-Men. Well, he's part of the I say like the X-Force, and that's like a mutant adjacent group to the X-Men. I guess I thought he was because of the Wolverine crossover. Yeah, well, with like I was watching a video earlier and it was about like the like I can't remember the specific name of the kind of thing. Convert No, not conversion. Yeah, yeah. Like there was like in the Marvel universe there's something when like two universes collide and then like, it's like a terrible thing like that happens. But like hopefully with like Doomsday uh here. Oh, here's the cast. This movie right here. Hopefully with this movie like we'll get everyone. Like we'll look at the cast for like I say Doomsday and Just a Pit. But to be honest with you, like I'm gonna be very for real with you. I really do like the character of Magneto. I think he's such a fascinating character and a very tragic one too. At that, to be honest with you, like when it comes to like Magneto, are any of you guys like familiar with Magneto's like origin story? That's my question. Who is Magneto again? Well, Magneto. Well, back in the 1960s, um, how should I put this? Stan Lee created this character to be like the opposition to Professor Xavier, and Magneto is the leader of a mutant group who wants to like I say like protect mutants, but they go about it in a bad way. What I really like about Magneto's character, Magneto in the original comics, I don't know what the modern like version of his origin story is, but in the original comics, Magneto was how do you say a Holocaust survivor back in World War II. His mother was killed in that whole terrible, you know, that whole terrible thing that claimed the lives of millions of people, and like having that kind of like background behind him, really, holy hell, yeah, he had like developed a strong resentment for like the evils that people can do. And like when the original comics were coming out, people like the mutants, how should I say this? Mutants were supposed to be an allegory for like black people during the 1960s. Like they were supposed to be an allegory of the civil rights movement. And like, how should I say this? Professor Xavier, uh, Charles Xavier, was supposed to be like the MLK. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Magneto believed in the same kind of thing, like protecting mutants, but Magneto wanted to like do that kind of thing in a more violent way and like kill innocent people. And like No, that's why I feel bad for Magneto, because like Charles Xavier alongside Magneto, they do agree that they want, mutants to not be persecuted and like, you know, deal with all the kind of stuff that they were dealing with. But the two of them disagreed very greatly. They were like allies in the comic books from like, the 60s up until now when it comes to like events or whatever. But like, no, I think it's really cool that, you know, I hope he does, you know, Magneto justice. He reminds me more of a Black Panther, Malcolm X type of character. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm really curious on like, how they're going to like take his character. But I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm super excited. Super excited. All right. Who needs Wolverine? Let's see what this is all about. What? Huh. Not that I blame him. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be really cool. Leave Mag, leave Wolverine and Magneto alone. Uh, let's see. Hmm. One iconic X Men. Ooh. Hmm. To be honest with you, how should I say this? Well, I'll look more into this in just a bit, but like to be honest with you, like when it comes to Wolverine, Wolverine is a very like big character and has like a lot of name recognition. And like I feel like if he was incorporated into this film, then I think he would be like taking away from the other like people. I don't know, but I do think like they're going to maybe keep him for like later on. That's what I do think. However, so yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see about it. Hmm. Trying to see what else possible. Well, to be honest with you, with like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, like I think it's going to be really difficult to try to like top off a person like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I haven't watched enough X-Men to say or not Wolverine should or should not. Just give me a sec. I haven't watched enough X-Men to say either or not Wolverine should or shouldn't. Hmm. Well, to be honest with you, hmm, it's kind of hard to say. Maybe like kind of with like the Deadpool thing, they might incorporate him as like a cameo or something. But like, yeah, no, it's yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I don't know who would be even like a good idea to like cast as Wolverine. It's hard to say. But honestly, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will always be to me the best version of him when it comes to film. besides cartoons. Like there's a bunch of really good cartoon X-Men shows. Like there was this one that came out in like 2006 and that was really fun. I enjoyed that one. And then the original like 90s show. So, yeah. Mm. Ooh, Sinister. I love this character. Well, I shouldn't say I love him, but he's such a fascinating character too. X-Men, like when it comes to Marvel has a lot of cool stuff when it comes to like characters, but I think X-Men like mutant mutants, they're really fascinating too. I kind of agree. I think the actor 2017 would be a good casting choice. Oh, really? Bill Skarsgård. Here, let me pull him up. Bill Bill Skarsgård. Here. Hmm. Well, let me think. As Wolverine or the guy you just or like here, let me just pull him up. Sinister. Honestly, like here. To be honest with you, Bill Skarsgård, I can't really see him as like Wolverine. Like when I think of Wolverine, like he has a lot of muscle mass. So I don't know if like Bill Skarsgård could like, like do that, but I do think like playing Mr. Sinister, I think that would be pretty cool. He's like I say like a scientific genius who is like hmm, who uses like technology and is like I think he also is like known for speeding up like the whole how you say like making people evolve faster and make them like more of killing machines and all that other kind of stuff. It's been a while since I have like you know encountered Mr. Sinister. But no, he is a cool character. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He could actually. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, we'll see. He would be a really good choice though. Ooh. I can't watch any video besides if it's on like social media. Okay, I need to look up this guy's name here. Let me see. Star Wars Force Awakens cast Adam Driver. That's his name, Adam Driver. Yeah. I've watched a couple of his movies here. I just call him Kylo Ren. That's fair. That's fair. I've seen him in all the like Star Wars movies here. All right, here. Let's see. What else have you been in? Probably it'll jog up my memory some more. I think I've seen him in Lincoln. And he's also been in Midnight Special. Oh my goodness. Now this is a great movie. If you haven't watched it, it is a good movie. It's like about this kid who is like I believe an alien and he has like a lot of like psychic abilities and he's being chased by like the government. It's kind of I wouldn't really compare it to like Stephen King's like Firestarter, but it's kind of in the spirit of that kind of. But it's a good movie. I like that movie. If you haven't watched Midnight Special, you should. It's good. All right, let's see. I think he was in this one oh House of Gucci. That was another one. That's another movie that I saw like Adam Driver in. So, you know. Okay, is there anything else we can find? Actually, I need to see director. Let me see who the director is. Okay. Just give me a sec. I'm going to see what movies this guy has directed. Just give me a sec. I'm chronically addicted to indie cartoons, so I don't typically know what movies are out. Well, there's a ton of really cool movies that are like coming out. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be seeing the end of Oak Street. I wasn't sure if I wanted to really talk about this movie, but like, like since I'm going to go see it tomorrow, it'll be like, you know, we'll see. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to this movie. At the end of Oak Street. It's about like a family that gets time traveled back. Like their whole how you say street. Yeah, yeah. I'm seeing it tomorrow and it'll be super fun to just like sit there, watch it. It's going to be really fun. I I might go and get the tickets like tomorrow morning or afternoon. But we'll see. I'm going to be going like tomorrow night. So, yeah, this is going to be super cool. But no, speaking of indie stuff, I know that you were saying about like indie cartoons. There's this one really interesting movie that I was like keeping for later, but there's this movie called The Fox. It had Sam Neill, which rest in peace, Sam Neill, and it also has Emily Browning and like all these other people here. I'm I really want to watch it sometime. This movie, The Fox, I'm super like I need to watch this movie. It's only been at like I say movie festivals and it hasn't been released to any streaming services far as as far as I'm aware, but like it's kind of like a dark what's it about? Let me see if I can pull up the description. Well, it's okay. I guess I shall use the Wikipedia to give you a good idea. The Fox is an Australian black comedy fantasy film written and directed by Darrow Russo. Yeah. Synopsis. Okay. Tells the story of a hunter who encounters a talking fox and to his problems after his fiancee has cheated on him. Like I can't like I would love to show you the I would love to show you the trailer, but I am more afraid of getting copyright striked than anything else out there. So like I'm going to refrain from that. But no, it's like interesting funny film that I want to see. I think the trailer, just you watching the trailer, will like do it justice. Awesome, awesome. And it's just like it is a little bit unnerving, just a little bit, but you know. Actually, here, let's see what things we can pull up from Letterbox. I used to have Letterbox, but then I had to continue. Oh, nope. Nopers. Oof. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know. I I really wish I could show this stuff, but I can't. I do know this like a few people who like how you say like work around like the trailer and like do react stuff. I wouldn't want to do react stuff, but for like this kind of thing, kind of have to. The only exception really was like when we looked at like that one article and it had like that social media thing, because that's like probably from like Twitter or something, then like there's a really low chance of me getting actually like slapped for like showing it. But I don't know. I wish YouTube wasn't as like bad when it came to that kind of stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, now I remember this person. Jacob Stancy Snyder. All right, let's see. What movies has he directed? Okay, he directed The Thunderbolts. YouTube's moderators are literally run on AI. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Huh? What? Huh? Okay. Okay. Why? YouTube is being incredibly stupid. Yeah, it has been. To be honest with you, I'm going to be very for real with you. This isn't about movie stuff when I bring this up. There's this game I want to stream in October. Here, let me pull up the game. Hellraiser Revival. Yes. I want to like I'm going to like figure out if it's okay for me to, well, how do you say this? Because of the nature of Hellraiser, it's going to be gory, and I'm extremely afraid that if it like I do stream that and upload it, I'm going to be hit with so much like uh I'm going to be hit with a lot. I'll just say that when it comes to like restriction stuff. I will try to like do like a lot of age restricting when I eventually cover Hellraiser Revival, but like I don't know. Like it's going to be really cool. I can't wait for this. By the way, Hellraiser like franchise, like the first two or maybe the third one, those are like really good films. But like, you know, I wish YouTube when okay, first off, when it comes to like showing like a movie thing or whatever, like I really wish that you could like warning if you are under 18, for the love of all that's unholy, do not watch this. Yeah, exactly. I just wish that like, how you say, with like this Hellraiser thing, like yes, it is important to like not show like extremely graphic violence, but it is an art medium, and it's like, I don't know. I really wish that there were more like straightforward answers. Like before the stream, I was literally looking to see like if there was a slight censor feature within the game. As far as I'm aware, there isn't one. So like, as like that stream will be uploaded to YouTube, I'm probably going to be in YouTube Studio, and I'm going to make sure to try to censor as much as I can without like sacrificing like what people want when it comes to this game, because I'm really looking forward to this. And it would be terrible to like deprive the people who are, looking forward to this, like, Hellraiser. So, you know, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I wish that like when it came to like the like first off when it came to like the movie stuff, like you could pay, like in traditional media, you could pay like a for a certain thing to like play that song on like a radio station, or for like a traditional like a TV network or whatever. Like that would be so good in order to actually engage with this stuff, because as far as I know, when it comes to like when it comes to like doing anything, especially when it comes to like a movie thing or whatever, there's always the risk of insert entity that will like take you down. And I'm really afraid of that. Like no joke. But yeah. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. So apparently this person has, what's weird to me is how SpongeBob stuff never gets taken down. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? When it comes to like SpongeBob stuff, Spindle Horse. Oh! I am so sorry. My apologies. Not SpongeBob stuff. Yikes. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. He's directed like. Ugh. He's directed like some music video stuff and like short films and all that stuff. Interesting. Cool. Spindle Horse stuff. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe Spindle Horse does like reach out to YouTube, kind of like maybe like some other like corporation or whatever to tell them, hey, don't take this down. Or I don't know. It's hard to say. But no, um, cause makes the money. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is gonna be so sick. I really can't wait. I really can't wait. This is gonna be really fun. I can't wait for this movie to come out. Hopefully, like we get more information. Like we're probably, how do you say this? When it comes to this movie coming out, I do think that like okay, this is like a small prediction. If I am wrong, I own up to it. But probably Jean Grey or one of the main people who play as these characters will oh, I don't know. Mutant Task Force tries to take them out or whatever. And as a result of that, they go to Charles Xavier's school, and then like Magneto comes out of the shadows and starts terrorizing people, and then Charles Xavier is like, "Okay, we should probably get together and take out my former colleague." That might be it. I don't know. It's hard to say, but it will come out in like May of 2028, which clock's ticking. What do you guys think? Do you guys think you'll go out and watch this new movie? We got some time. Yeah. No, to be honest with you, like it's probably still in production and that'll take like um early well late 2026, early 2027. And then the actual shooting will happen. And then like probably like they'll do some test audiences in like maybe like in March, see if, got that goes well. And if they do like the this is good, then yeah, we'll see. Maybe, but I prefer to watch it with you. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. It would be awesome. Yeah. But no, honestly, like we've been needing more like X-Men representation when it comes to Marvel because again, like Marvel, how do you say? The X-Men are like a huge thing. They really are. And like I really do hope that they like it gets more people invested into like X-Men. Like to be honest with you, the X-Men that I grew up with like besides like the one from like early 2000s, I watched this X-Men cartoon here. Cartoon 2000s. I kind of watched this when I was younger and I was like this was awesome. Early 2000s. I think it came out here. 2006. Uh, okay. Well, it came out in. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. This is what I watched, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is super sick." I loved this one. Sadly, it didn't get that many like seasons, but like, that's the X Men that I was like, "Wow." Like when I got Disney Plus, like about like a year ago or something, I sat there and watched the entire series, and how they ended it, unfortunately, before I believe it was canceled. It was here, X-Men ending. Ending. Yeah. Like we were supposed to get Apocalypse in like the end of it. Here, let me see. X-Men Apocalypse. To be honest with you, Apocalypse. No, not that. Not that. Nope. Comics. When it comes to like a major supervillain, like it was cut down before it fully grew. Yeah, exactly. Like it ended with Apocalypse. Here, let me see if I can find a better picture of him. Let's see. Visit. Here. This guy right here. No. All right. This guy right here. This guy is known as Apocalypse. He's kind of more comparable to like Darkseid from DC Comics and like Thanos from like the like rest of the Marvel universe. He was born in ancient Egypt and he had like all these different mutant powers. And what was really cool about him too is that he interacted with like the celestials, which are like alien gods. He got their technology and he became even more powerful. Yo, I think he was in Deadpool 2. No, he wasn't in Deadpool 2. No, you're probably talking about Colossus. You're probably talking about Colossus. Colossus is pretty cool. Yeah. Here. Here, let me just pull him up. X-Men. This guy. No, you're good. You're good. All right, come on. Let's get a better picture of good old Colossus. There he is. To be honest with you, like, I didn't really care for Colossus when I was growing up. Like, I kind of thought he was like, eh. But no, he is a cool character. You know, and he's also important when it comes to like X-Men history. But like personally, I didn't really think much of him. And you know, actually, when it comes to Marvel characters, I might get in trouble for this. Um, there is Moon Knight. To be honest with you, like I was kind of shocked that Moon Knight got his own series, like his own little like mini series thing. Like this version of him. When I was growing up, I know I refer back to a lot of my like when I was younger, but you know, these characters were huge in my life. And like, you know, I knew about characters like Moon Knight and like Doctor Strange and all these different Marvel and DC characters is because like my dad got me really into these characters. And like, you know, I do really owe it to my dad to actually like, you know, get me into this stuff. And like a lot of things like Dragon Ball Z and things like that. And like, you know, I'm always internally grateful. And it's really cool to see a character like Moon Knight like actually get his, time to shine. He already had his TV show, but like, I don't know. I really want Marvel to like show off more of their other characters who don't get as much appreciation, you know? Like later into the stream, we will be talking about the new Ghost Rider movie that has Ryan Gosling. Like we will get into that a bit later, but like, you know, there's a lot there to talk about. All right. With the X-Men thing out of the way, here, let me just move it to the side over here. Oh, there. Now we will talk about just give me a sec. They should show more of these characters instead of their cash cows. Dude, they're remaking Ghost Rider without Nicolas Cage? Yes, they are. The actor who will be playing him will be Ryan Gosling. And there's a lot there to like talk about. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. Ah, boo. Yeah, no, to be honest with you, like, how should I say this? Like, Ghost Rider 2, to be honest with you, like, Ghost Rider was kind of in the same camp as, like, Moon Knight was. Like, unless you were, like, really, really into, like, a bit more obscure stuff, if you weren't, like, growing up with the comics, then you wouldn't have really known about him besides, like, before he got his, like, iconic movie in the early 2000s. But, like, Nicolas Cage did do Ghost Rider well, and that also did get a lot of people interested into Ghost Rider. And he was supposed to be in the Multiverse of Madness, the second Doctor Strange movie, but unfortunately, like, Marvel was a little bit too scared to go in that direction. They did get Sam Raimi back, who's well known for like the Spider-Man movies, the Evil Dead movies, and like there was that tonal shift that some people were like, "Oh, I don't like this," but like I never knew about Deadpool before his movie. Really interesting. Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting to me. Like, how should I say this? I did know about like Deadpool growing up. Like there was this one, like, before we get to this, let me just show this off. There were these movies that came out here. Hulk versus the Hulk versus films here. This was a really great like animated thing. Just give me a sec. My mom and my dad were all comics are for boys, so I was never able to get until early high school. That sucks. And I'm sorry you had to go through that because like a lot of these kinds of pieces of media, like sometimes because of like a household, you're not able to actually watch that media until like you have more autonomy to like actually watch that kind of stuff or listen to that stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? But no, it's like, you know, it's wild to consider. But no, like when I was younger, like Deadpool, my first ever time actually seeing Deadpool. Here. Yes. Hulk versus Wolverine. Oh, my parents felt bad for telling me that now that they knew. I see, I see. I understand. But like, how do you say this? When it comes to that stuff, like realizing and saying, you know what, watch what you want to watch, listen to what you want to listen to. Like, when you like people can have the ability to grow, and that's always good. You know what I mean? And I'm happy now that, well, I'm happy for you that, like, you know, they have like come around and are, not as they were previously when it came to like that kind of stuff. I'm sorry if I phrased it weirdly, but you know what I mean. But no, like the first time I ever saw Deadpool ever in any kind of media was in this movie. In this movie, Wolverine. Yeah, no, I do get it. Yeah, but no, like this movie right here. Oh boy, this brings back a lot of memories because this was the first time I actually saw Deadpool in any kind of media. Like this was before the MCU really took off. Like Lionsgate produced a lot of animated Marvel movies, and Hulk versus was like one of those things. When was this released? Give me a sec. It was released in 2009. Like I say, a year prior, the Iron Man movie came out in 2008, and it was a big huge smash. Get it? Hulk smash. But like no, it was still in the early days when like the MCU was still owned by Paramount before Disney bought it up. I think some people think that the MCU was originally just like owned by Disney, but there was a time when these, like things in Marvel, they were all spread out. Yo. Hey, Wilderness Lad. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing great today, man. A bit later, we're going to actually be talking about the Ghost Rider movie um, in 2028, and I have a lot of things to say. I know you're a big fan of them, so like you missed out earlier when we were talking about like Ghost Rider, but don't worry, we'll talk about it. I'm a little bit I'm kind of doubtful about this movie coming out, but we'll see. I could only watch those kinds of movies through YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. But no, to be honest with you, like that's where I first saw Deadpool. And to be honest with you, when I see like some people out there like today and they're wearing up these like pull up hoodies of Deadpool, a part of me kind of be like, oh, you didn't know about him until the movie. But that's kind of me being a little bit snarky. It's kind of like when you see like when you have a person who's wearing like a Nirvana TV, no, a Nirvana shirt or like a Misfits shirt, and they only just wear it because it looks cool, and that's fine. But like it makes the actual fans who are interested in that piece of media like, oh, you're just doing this because whatever. Deadpool before. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And like Yeah. It kind of made me like a little bit afraid. Like before like he actually got his movie back in 2016, I was a little bit afraid because of the nature of Deadpool that he wouldn't do so well. But at the time Fox said, "Yeah, no, we're going to make it a rated R uh action comedy movie." And I think I think it's great that they actually did it. Like besides me looking there and be like, "Oh, you didn't actually know about this character beforehand." Like a part of me now has kind of grown up to be like, you know what? If this kind of piece of media gets you into like characters like this, then that's great. Like that should only be seen as like supplementary material when it comes to like these characters. And Deadpool was like one of those characters who were obscure for a time, but now he's like extremely huge. And I'm happy that, characters like Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Deadpool, like, and even Iron Man too. Iron Man as well, like prior to that movie, 2008 Iron Man, he wasn't as known. Like, he was only known within like the comic book space and never really in the mainstream. But when that movie came out in 2008, Iron Man. Okay. 2008. 2028? No. 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 When this movie came out, it they took this character who was kind of obscure away from like besides Captain America, besides like all these other people, no, they really, projected him into the mainstream. And I'm happy that he also got his time. Yes. Yes, we love that Black Sabbath song Iron Man. But no, I'm happy about it. And I can't wait for more like obscure characters from Marvel to even like get more mainstream, you know, notice. Werewolf by Night, for example, too, also got people interested when it comes to like the more spookier side of Marvel. But, very happy about it. All right. Now with this movie, where do I even begin? The last one here, let me see when the last one came out. Movie 2007. You know, there was a popular game that came out called Simpsons the Game. I really enjoyed that game. Like, like I would go over to like my neighbor's house and like the parents were like playing that a game and I was like, "Wow, this is cool." Unfortunately, you can't really play it anymore because it's only exclusive to the older consoles, but like boy, brings back a lot of memories. But it's kind of been a way too long time to actually like, you know, get back to Simpsons media to be honest with you. We don't have that much info about it. Like here. Hopefully with this. Oh no, please. Please. No. Wait, can I? Yes, perfect. All right, let's see. Yeah, it has been like 2 decades in the making, to be honest with you. Like, there were some things that weren't really great with the original one, and that was like, that movie is iconic. It deserves all the love it gets. But to be honest with you, like, there were some issues with that film that were just not like, you know, too desirable, to be honest with you. And you know what's kind of crazy too? Like back in 2017, when how you say when Marvel bought up like Fox Entertainment, it didn't just get like Alien, Predator and X-Men, like we were just talking about earlier, but they also got The Simpsons as well. And to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of The Simpsons movie. No, I do get that. It's not like the best piece of like Simpsons media out there. But no, like I'm just talking through nostalgia when I talk about this. But like I have very distinct memories about that movie, and you know, sometimes I will even quote them, like Spider Pig. You know, but like yeah, I'm just a little bit afraid, like what they're talking about here. Like I'm very afraid that it's going to be kind of mild. Yeah, yeah. Well, everyone's each to their own, but you know, yeah. I don't know. I'm really hoping that, like, to bring back, what's that called? To bring back Deadpool and Wolverine movie, like that crossover. Everyone was afraid that that movie wouldn't do so well because Disney would be like, no extreme violence, no extreme cursing, and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, that movie just says, let's get to business. And then, like, heads are chopped off and like, fuck you, and piss on this or whatever. It's just like great stuff. You know what I mean? Not trying to cut you down, I think. Yeah, no, I really like if Disney is allowed, like, permitting Deadpool to be his self and have that R rating. Not to say that like the Simpsons will be in like the same direction, but I do think that, how do you say? Hmm. Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was perfect. That was really fun. I'm just hoping that like Disney will say go ahead and be yourself, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the Simpsons again. And to be honest with you, with the Simpsons, here, let me do this. The Simpsons. Here. I'm going to try to figure out how I can do this because here. Take over. Simpsons take over early 2000s. Okay. Like before, how should I say this? Like there's like other creators out there who have talked more extensively than I ever can, especially on, like a platform like this. But like during the 90s there was a huge Simpsons craze, and even before the Simpsons movie was coming out, like Simpsons media was everywhere. And here, Simpsons, here, Springfield. Okay, contest here. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, please. No, not again. Why? I know you have to have some money, but like, please. All right. Well, during like the early 2000s, there was a contest. What's actually really cool is that there's like a couple Springfields within the United States, and like there was all these different like Springfields competing against each other to whoever can like how do you say out Springfield the other actually gets like as it says here to how do you say owns the name Springfield against each other will host the world premiere of the Simpsons movie. Like this was a thing that actually happened. Can you actually imagine that? Like what's kind of sad is that I don't think in the year 2026 or even in the year like when's it supposed to be out? 2028. To be honest with you, I can't really see a thing like that happening just because like I feel like it was a very distinct moment in time when this kind of thing actually happened. Like now things are a little bit more like the tone has really changed for like something like this to never really happen again. But no, in Springfield, Vermont, like there's like videos out there that you can go watch of like, you know, people from that area going to like, you know, go to the world premiere of the Simpsons movie. And here. No? Ah. Just give me a sec. Da-da-da-da-da. The Simpsons movie. There. Everyone's begging for the show to die at this point. Well, actually, when it comes to The Simpsons, here. The Simpsons. Here. Season 40. Final season. Hmm. I heard about like a rumor that it would be ending at season 40, but to be honest with you, it should have ended. Like there's a bunch of really good shows out there and some are like cut before they can actually really blossom like with the Wolverine and the X-Men TV show. But like unfortunately the Simpsons just needs to end now while they can. Like I stopped watching The Simpsons when I was how you say when I got to like season 26, I think, halfway to like the modern like time when you know they continued. Like when they continued to this like point in time. And that's absolutely crazy to me. Oh, no, like I don't think Fox is ever going to letting the Simpsons die. Well, unfortunately, when it comes to like ratings, like from my understanding, the Simpsons have had like not the best ratings, but it's still like in like that okay, like we can keep this going kind of thing. They're the entire generation old. Yeah. Yeah. It is really insane. Like I don't know what's going to happen with like this movie. Let me see if I can actually D23 clip. I'm really hoping that when this comes out, I don't get my ass handed to me when we like when this goes out to YouTube that I don't get hit with that stupid like copy copyright claim. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully, Please? Can we have can we have like a thing, a video? Okay. Please, 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 please. Don't, please. I'm going to play this, but hopefully I don't get hit with. Okay. Well, we will. It is a form of reacting, so it should count. Just hope that I don't get hit with anything, please.
Look at this, Rubes. I think most of you know this is not my first D23, but it is my first one since becoming CEO of the Walt Disney Company.
You know, it'd be funny if I do like show like an entire clip, right? If I actually do get to show an entire clip, and for some reason, if YouTube actually goes after me, and it's just because of this, like, nothing burger, I'm going to die. Oh no. That would be kind of funny and kind of terrible. All right. Let's see if we can pull a clip. Oh. Wait a minute. I saw this earlier today, so let me just see if I can do this. Baseball clip. Hopefully we can. Oh, shoot. Come on, please. There has to be. Don't I love that? Okay. Let's see if this does anything. Here. Here you go. This is it. Like, it's not fully finished, obviously, but you know, we'll see how it goes. But let's continue. I love this part though. That part was just perfect. Muted to be safe. Thank you. That's actually a good idea. But no, like, all right, let's just try that again. If we do get like hit with something, we'll see. We'll see. Here. No. Like, as you can see, there's this whole moment, and then Mole Man gets, you know, trampled on, and then Grandpa, obviously, you guys can see it. Perfect. That's a good way of avoiding it. And then that happens. It's going to be super fun. Like, this is going to be so cool. I really can't wait. Here, let's see this. Oh, man. I really can't wait for this. Hey, this is a sneak peek, you know? This is actually great. All right. You know, like, obviously it doesn't look like too good right now, but it is still like in like production. And like a part, well, I don't really see it happening, but I don't see them using generative AI, but if they do, it's going to make the experience even like it's going to make it worse. But I like based on what my gut's feeling, There's not going to be any of that, and that's going to be really good because no, like everyone's dogging on that ice cream man movie thing. So like that should probably prove to anyone that if they want to actually make something and they want people to enjoy it, maybe don't go out like doing something like that. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't really see that happening either. And no, I feel pretty confident saying that. So, you know, but let's see. What? Okay, perfect. Oh man. This is just the type of insanity that is like this is the type of insanity you would expect from the Simpsons. At least earlier Simpsons, to be honest with you. 75 if you lose the bet. Sure. The OG Simpsons. To be honest with you, the OG Simpsons, like if you want like the best Simpsons, like some people will say like 2000, not 2000, like season 8, season 1 to season 8 was like the best. Personally for me, like, I've sat there for like from like season 1 to like when I stopped. I can't even remember. It kind of real like when you get into like about like season 20 territory and like beyond, it's you don't even like it just feels like one giant season. But no, like season 1 to season like 12 or 13, that to me is like the best Simpsons you can get. So if any of you are going to like go out there and like watch the Simpsons or anything like that and you actually want to see like what it was actually like, I would really suggest you know, going in that direction. Or just be like me a bit ago, and watch till you get to the present day. But man, this is going to be really fun. I don't think I'll ever, I don't think I'll be watching it, but I'll consider it. Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, like, when it comes to The Simpsons, like, a lot of, how do you say this? Like, a lot of it is situational comedy, which situational comedy is a really great place to like play with fun ideas, like Alf, for example. Like, oh, what if the mother comes back and there's like a terrible mess or something, or like what if a alien cockroach starts terrorizing the house or whatever. And like there's been so many episodes of The Simpsons that have played with a lot of interesting ideas. Like there was this one episode, I can't remember the specific name of it, but in that episode, Bart like sells his soul to what's I was going to say Nelson. No. Who's that damn guy? Uh I'm trying to remember his name. What's that guy's name? Shoot. Let me think. Flanders? No, no. It is Bart's friend, best friend, actually. What's that called? I can't remember his name. It's been such a while. Bart has a friend? Yes, he does have a friend. Being a person like him, like you would think he has no friends. No, he has friends. Not Nelson. It starts with B here. Okay, Bart Simpson. Oh, best friend. Millhouse. Yes, that guy. That's his best friend, Millhouse. Like, there's that one episode where like Bart gives his like sells his soul to like Millhouse, and all these weird, terrible things start like happening. Oh, the blue haired kid. Yeah, yeah, and like you're like, oh, is this supernatural or is this like bad luck or whatever? But no, like that's what I really love about early Simpsons, because like, they were willing to throw all this like cool, fun like stuff, and just like, some best like scenes I would say in all of comedy when it comes to like, you know, a sitcom show. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay, let's really hope I don't get hit with any like copyright claim or anything like that. I will look into like how to like actually show like something without getting hit with, a copyright claim or something like that, but we'll see, we'll see. Okay, contest. There you go. But yeah, no, the Simpsons movie, um I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully like it does well. And I do want a Futurama movie, because kind of going like to compare like the Simpsons to Futurama, it kept getting canceled, and like uh like a reboot. Well, no, not reboot, but a continuation. And like Fox and like Comedy Central were like beating that poor show while it had like a dedicated cult fan base. Meanwhile, The Simpsons kept like trugging along. Like, to be honest with you, if you ask me which one was more impactful to me growing up, The Simpsons or Futurama, well, Futurama. Futurama was the show that I grew up loving. Like, I remember watching it when I was like about 10 or 11. But no, like this show, like it's been more impactful to me than the Simpsons ever really were. And like, you know, Bender here, he will always be close to my heart. And I'm even going to get a tattoo of him too at some point. And I was thinking to get his famous quote, "Bite my shiny metal ass." But you know, yeah. Yeah. This will always be leagues above The Simpsons for me personally. If you haven't watched Futurama, you should. It is really fun. Really fun show. All right. Oh boy. Now we get to this part. Oh boy. Let me just take a sip. I will get, how do you say? I have some thoughts. Like, the movie does look really cool, but the one casting thing I do not think is good. Robert Downey Jr. Here, just give me a sec. I'll here, I'll do this. Keep that there. Okay. Avengers Doomsday Cast. All right. Okay. I have a genuine question for you guys. How do you guys generally feel about like Robert Downey Jr., who played Iron Man up until like 2019, coming back as Doctor Doom? I have a genuine question for you guys. How do you guys feel about that? Like, I have very specific thoughts on how I feel about this casting decision, but also, like, I like to hear what you guys have to think when it comes to this. Personally, I don't care much about that. I see. As Doctor Doom. Ooh, okay. Excuse me. To be honest with you, like, okay. Like, what? No, you're fine. You're fine. That's completely fine. Like, we're not just here to just talk about like movies like Incredibles 3. There's one coming out. I was thinking about maybe talking about excuse me, Frozen 3 coming out, but I was like, nah, cuz I felt like this would be a little bit more interesting to talk about. And then like the Fox movie, but we already talked about that movie. And you know what? Maybe I'll actually take this off in case you guys ever wanted to talk about Insidious. Personally, I'm not really that stoked for this film. Okay, I guess before we go into this, I guess we should maybe talk about this. To be honest with you, like the only good Insidious movie was actually the first one for me personally. Like that one did freak me out when I was younger, but like the more and more of like the Insidious movies that have come out, I've kind of said to myself, man, they're just like, I don't know. Don't know what to really say about them anymore. The first one was good, and then like sequel after sequel, and then I just said, okay, this is done. It was I was thinking it was going to be like the new Exorcist or whatever, but it didn't really live up to that. Blah. A new Frozen and Incredibles? Yes. Yes, exactly. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to break the news actually, but here, let me. Oh boy. Okay. Just give me a sec. I saw here movies. Okay, D23. Best get over with it. Yeah. Okay, first off, like I talked about, okay, there's a live action Tangled movie coming out. Here, just give me a sec. Tangled is getting a live action movie, which, to be honest with you, when I saw that earlier today, when I was thinking about this stream, I was like, no way. You're doing this? Yeah, exactly. Live action movie. Release date. Yes. It is official. They are actually we're supposed to get one in March 21st of 2028. Like I saw it today and I was like, "No. Oh, come on, Variety. Variety. Okay. But no, They're actually doing it. Tangled means so much to me, the movie and the show. Well, how do you say? I grew up with Tangled too, and I also did enjoy it. You know, I thought it was a good movie. But no, like, to be honest with you, when it comes to Disney, like, people will have like not the best valid reasons to criticize Disney, right? But when it comes to the actual like criticism, my very specific kind of criticism towards Disney is about stuff like this. They are going through a huge creative drought that, like, there's that Moana movie, that live action one. No shade at the actress, obviously, and the people who actually worked on it. They're doing their own, like, they're doing their job. But, like, they're so, like, well, it's not the people who are actually working on these movies. It's not, it's not that. What it actually is much like what you were saying earlier about being mongry hungry. Money hungry? Sorry. That I just realized money hungry. I don't know, that just made me laugh a little bit. I just wish they made another cartoon for Tangled instead. Yeah. But no, like, unfortunately, like, Disney has said, you know what? We're just going to constantly take our old stuff or even like half medium modern stuff and actually, like, you know, bring it back, but in live action. Like, no, nothing. Well, companies are always, you know, like, they're for profit, obviously. Money for any. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But no, like, this is not good for. Oh, we're getting the first look. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Here, let me just mute this. All right, let's see. As you can see, this is like what was shown at D23. Oh shoot. Here, let me just turn that. Like, you know, they're trying to really feed on, like, you know, people's like nostalgia. I've said before, when it comes to like movies and TV shows, like, there's like some level of like when nostalgia turns like bitter. Like, some people will be like, "Oh, I don't want people to find the new, like, you know, revisit old stuff. That's okay." Like, there's some people out there who will be like, "Oh, I don't want a remake of this," because, like, you know, their view on like the original, they thought it was so good that any kind of changes are like inherently bad. And sometimes that's valid and sometimes it's not, but no, like, this isn't good. Frozen 2 was supposed to be made in a 5 year span, but then the CEO or someone said, actually, you have 2 years now. Good luck. Exactly. Exactly. To be honest with you, like, with independent studios rising up and like really like reshaping the industry when it comes to that type of stuff, that's good. But like, any person who's still like defending these companies, like, I do like appreciate the legacy these like major studios have done, like Universal Studios and like Warner Brothers and even Disney and like Paramount. Like, you know, these people, like the companies and the people who worked on these like movies, they went through hell to make these kinds of things that we enjoy, right? But like, I do think comparing the film industry to like maybe like from the beginning of film, till like the 80s. The 80s specifically because with like the invention of home video, with like VHS stores popping up, people can like make their own movies and submit it, and people can like rent those movies. I bring up the 80s in that respect because the 80s was huge when it came to like empowering like potential like people to actually make like things outside of a corporate like space. You know what I mean? If they made live action Hercules or Pocahontas films that yeah, exactly. And like I really hope that they don't go in that direction because that would get so much shit. They may actually pull it. But here you go. Can you like look at this? Here. What's cool about like animation, with animation like in like live action films, like besides like with CGI, exactly. With like CGI, it gives you more ability to pull off things that normally wouldn't be able to happen, right? But with animation, you're not bounded by those laws. Like the laws of the natural world. With animation, you can make things float and you can like do all these incredible things, right? But if you just look at this right now, see? Look at this. How is she going to move around in like the spaces that she goes in? Like exactly. My eternal rage is real. Well, it's completely valid to feel that way. Like this was yesterday. This was yesterday actually. Like when they showed this. I can't remember the mother. Well, I don't think she was the mother. It's been a while since I watched Tangled. I remember majority of the film, but I forgot like the name of the mother. But no, like okay, they didn't show that part. They didn't show that part. Here, let me just keep that for later. Just give me a sec. Tangled live action. There we go. I have to keep the links open because after this stream is over, I'm uploading this to YouTube so that people can go check the links out for themselves. Like if they don't watch the full stream when this comes out to YouTube as, like the full thing, then at least they'll have access to some of the links. I'll try my best when it comes to like making sure people have all the links so they can go and read and like all the other stuff. But like no, this isn't good. Oh, but yeah. Uh Rapunzel's mom and dad are the greatest emotional scene animation I've ever seen. Yeah. No, it wasn't like the actual parents of her. Yeah, exactly. No, like the actress who's going to be playing this. Okay. Reject all. This actress here is supposed to be like uh the witch. The I no, she's not the stepmother. I can't remember, but she will be playing the she will be playing that character, the witch character, I believe. All right. Yeah. Personally, it's not. It isn't a good thing. No, it isn't. Oh boy. will be played by her. Yes, exactly. She will be playing her, and like, oh, I don't know. This is not like I don't know. We'll see. I'm I'm very how do you say this? Like much like what you were saying earlier when it came to like Doomsday here, like you're not fully connected to like this piece of media, and that's okay, right? When it comes to like relating, you know what I mean, right? Like I don't watch this kind of piece of media, but I can see and understand where people are coming from. Mother of Loki just yeah, no, totally. But like yeah, no, I can definitely understand and relate to how like this is seen by, the people who enjoy this kind of media. To be honest with you, like all these different movies, TV shows and all everything like that. I've said this before, but like even if you didn't really grow up with this piece of media, there were people who, like grew up with this. Like with Ghost Rider. Like I enjoyed the movie, but I know people personally who really, really connected with that movie and with that character and that version of Ghost Rider. And I know people too who've also been really impacted by these other kinds of characters. You know what I mean? And it's like when people like talk about these kinds of films and like disregard them, it's like a slap in the face because we create like that's a poor part of our like core part of our personality and like history. You know what I mean? Like me, I grew up with Tangled. Yes, exactly. And that was like, for you, that was like, you know, a huge thing for you growing up, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I really hope that hopefully Disney wakes up from like making these continuous mistakes when it comes to like this kind of stuff, but I don't see that happening. Disney might as well rip my heart out and fry it with chips. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, no, like for me, like how should I say this? Some of my biggest pieces of media that I grew up with, like besides Marvel and DC, is Lord of the Rings and what else? Outside Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Oh yeah, I forgot Star Wars. That was huge for me growing up. It was Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings. Like I still enjoy those pieces of media. I would say by far, Lord of the Rings was a bit more impactful to me because, like, how you say, the world of Middle Earth I find so incredible, and I just love everything about like the world of J.R.R. Tolkien, and it's like it is terrible. Like I didn't mind it when that like that how you say Lord of the Rings Rings of Power show came out because it helped expand that universe. But like at least they were adding on to the story and not like trying to constantly feed on this nostalgia. It's not a great show by far because it kind of does drag a little bit, and maybe some of the writing can be good when it comes to like how the characters interact with each other. But no, like you know, I would love a Middle Earth spin-off of the characters, especially if it was a cartoon. Yeah, definitely. Well, there's that one Lord of the Rings spin-off animated movie actually. Here, let me see. Lord of the Rings. Like I love Marvel and DC, and Star Wars is kind of like faded in the background, but I still do appreciate it. But Lord of the Rings was much more impactful to me than like it's really hard to like put into words. Like yes, I was here, let me just pull it out. Yeah, exactly. Here, let me just go here, increase the size a little bit. I freaking love that film. That's awesome. But no, I have the One Ring to rule them all. And, like, how you say, growing up, how you say, especially when you were in like a school setting, like you had like the weird kid and like all this other stuff. I was kind of like that, kind of. And yes, I was that one kid who was like, my precious. Yes. I you know, I did that. Ah, I'm sorry. That was like, you know, a more primal version of me coming out and be like, my precious. And also the orcs were pretty cool. Mm. But like sometimes you can look back and be like, how people treated me back then has made me much stronger today, and that's how I like to look at it. But yes, Lord of the Rings. There was this Hobbit here, the Hobbit. Here, yeah, definitely here, the Hobbit. Like I enjoyed that film trilogy, but I'm talking about this movie. I really loved this one. And animated. This movie right here was so good. I loved it growing up too. This was like, oh my gosh. The Hobbit, right? No. This Hobbit. This Hobbit. Oh my goodness. Where do I even begin with this version of The Hobbit? Oh, here, let me just get a little bit smaller. Yes, they did. They did. I, to be honest with you, I was very happy seeing that. I was very happy with this. Here. Okay, let me see if I can pull up a better picture of my boy. There he is. I was going to Bilbo Baggins. This is my guy. Yes, it was. It was such a great episode. I loved it. I'm very sad that Smiling Friends is no longer a thing anymore, but I love that. It was so good. Bilbo, I know. We Bilbo, nobody will speak bad about Bilbo. We love Bilbo here. Today's a great adventure. Like, if you've ever watched this movie, like you should. It doesn't have Tom Bombadil in it. If you're asking, no, the famed Tom Bombadil is not in it. But like, oh man, this gives me so much. Yes, yes. Man, like to be honest with you, some people talk really bad about like the trilogy, but I loved the trilogy here. The trilogy like here. I know we're deviating from all this other stuff, but to be honest with you, we're not just here to talk about the movies that are already selected here. We're here to just talk about movies, and all that fun stuff. But no, like there was some like things from the Silmarillion that were pulled into this version of The Hobbit, and to compare like the original like book to like the trilogy, it does fail in like the tonal, like the tone of it, kind of. Yes, exactly, exactly. If you have a favorite movie, let me know and we'll talk about it because hey, I I love movies. Movies are some people say, "Oh, you watch too many movies," but to be honest with you, some people can make a career off of making movies. Well, some people will make a career talking about movies, but for me personally, movies are probably the biggest form of media that I consume besides screw them, yes. Besides music and also like how you say like uh novels, this one would have to be like the biggest one. Yeah, exactly. Not just Dead Meat. There's so many like really good like creators out there who will talk about movies and TV shows. Yeah, cool. I was gonna pull up like sunglasses, but I don't have any sunglasses on me, so I guess we'll use this. But you know, what was I gonna say? But no, like it wasn't the best by far. Mm, yeah, definitely. It wasn't the best, but it was good. All right, but no. To get back to the Avengers, this movie will do extremely well. I just think getting Robert Downey Jr. to be Doom is kind of like a cash. It is a cash grab kind of thing. It's just there because like the MCU has done really well, but it hasn't been the same ever since like Endgame back in 2019. It hasn't been the same. Marvel has been trying to like get back from like not just the effects of the pandemic that did affect the bottom line of like Disney, yes, and also like all their other ones. It's a cash it's a cash death grab. Yes, it is. It is. Like when I saw this image, a part of me thought, no, this is like they shouldn't have done this. Like besides the Jonathan Majors stuff, like that really did throw off Marvel off, of course. But like that's just something that was out of their control mainly, and I understood why they had to do like go with Doctor Doom. But to be honest with you, like they shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have took Robert Downey Jr. to like show off himself. No, they shouldn't have done that. To be honest with you, hmm, I watched like the movie Frankenstein from 1931. I'm gonna make like you may be saying to yourself, "Why bring this up?" But I think this is like a good thing to bring up. What's great about that movie is a lot of stuff, but in the beginning, like when they were saying who's who, and when they put the monster, it was question mark, but at the end of the movie, that's when they actually like said Boris Karloff, right? Like I felt like that was a good decision when it came to like that kind of thing. Keep it a mystery, right? But like outside of the cash grab kind of thing, when it comes to like how you say pulling out Robert Downey Jr., like outside of that, they should have just kept him more of a mystery. To be honest with you, like this kind of feels like a form of betrayal because like it this shouldn't have been done because like I don't know. It kind of feels like Marvel isn't willing to admit it. Cash grabs back in the 30s were more of a cash pinch. Yeah, exactly. It was. And I'm not saying that like is it crazy that that movie Frankenstein from 1931 is going to be 100 in 2031? It will be, and that's crazy. That or Marvel is being cheap with their casting. That could also be one. But you know, you kind of have to remember that with Robert Downey Jr., he's become even huge. Like back in like the 80s, like he wasn't as big. He was a, a small like, you know, actor, and then to the 90s had all that drug and alcoholism thing, and he wasn't really doing so well. Fortunately now he's, like sober. He doesn't engage in that kind of stuff, and he's really grown to a huge level of fame that is hugely commendable. And that's what I really do like about Robert Downey Jr. He did like when all the bad things were happening to him at his point in life, all his stuff, he still like prevailed, you know. Less than 4 years, Frankenstein would be 100. I think Robert Downey Jr. Yes, that. Yeah. Yep. Well, I wouldn't even say that. Like, don't get me wrong. When it comes to Tropic Thunder, okay, like outside of that point, like I'm like, oh, I don't really care. I don't really. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I don't think it was a good idea to do something like that. It wasn't really a good idea. How should I say this? Like, I do enjoy that movie. And, like, don't get me wrong, it does feel weird when it comes to, like, that specific part of the film. And I do think, like, outside of that, no, it is a great movie. And I don't think, like, I'll still watch that movie. And again, like, I do think it was a bad decision, but in hindsight, I personally like will still watch it, and you know I'll still acknowledge that part of it. That's all I'll say. Not to downplay like the blackface in that movie. No, that was a really bad decision. Anthony Hopkins did blackface for Oil 2. I don't which I don't approve of. Yeah, definitely. Like there's a reason now like it's not like a good decision to do something like that, because no, that is like no, that stuff deserves to be in the past. Well, you also kind of need to remember too, back in like the early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s, a little bit of the mid 2000s too, like that edgy cult, like it was kind of cool to be edgy back then. And like plus times back then were a little bit more extreme. Like even go back to early YouTube, like when that movie came out. Early YouTube compared to now, like you like how you say this. When it comes to like early YouTube, YouTube was still very new, right? And like how you say this? Also with like early YouTube, you had that kind of stuff happen, right? Then now like YouTube now has like evolved in a lot of different ways. Yeah. So no, like I try to like when it comes to like a movie like Tropic Thunder, I always try to remember like yes, this was a weird point in time that was like not so great, but you know. That's how I like to put it. But no, like personally, it will do well. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe it might not do well because of the Marvel fatigue or even like the superhero fatigue, we could say. But personally, based on like the images, like here, like this for example, seeing the Sentinels, that's like wild. We haven't seen Sentinels like this since like 2006. And like I don't know, we'll see. I'm I'm very curious on like how this is going to go. But maybe there is just Marvel fatigue or comic book fatigue. Like there has been like a push away from comic book stuff. Like some people have gotten more interested in like video game adaptations, like movie adaptations of video games, and that's done like kind of well, kind of not. Horror has been like going up lately more. I have to agree with you there. Yeah. So like I don't know, we'll see. I'm genuinely curious on like do you guys think that there is like a comic book fatigue and like what is like the newest thing like in terms of like how do you say like back 80s there was the slasher craze, and then like back in the 60s, well 50s 60s there was the sci-fi craze, and like how you say it? Also like in the early to mid 2000s you had like the fantasy craze for things like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Narnia tried to get off the ground but didn't really do so well. I'm not too sure if there is a comic fatigue. I don't know. I do think like over exaggeration of of well, I think I should phrase it this way. You know when you eat something like it's like oh super good and you keep on eating it, and then there's like non-stop of that specific thing, then you're like okay this is enough, I just want to take a long break, you know what I mean? I feel like with like the mainstream audience when it comes to like comic book films, because of like how big and domineering the MCU has been, like how should I say this? Like there's been so many like cinematic multiverse like films coming out. It's like, you know, you can only love chicken parmesan for so long. Yeah, exactly. You know, like how do you say? Okay, to compare the MCU, the modern cinematic universe, to the original one. I know I bring up the Universal monsters quite a bit, but they were the original cinematic universe. And like as those films kept trugging along up until like the mid 50s when the Creature from the Black Lagoon films were coming out. That was the official end of like I would say the Universal monsters, because Universal Pictures at the time, they were like, "Oh, let's keep on doing this. Let's do a House of Frankenstein, or like Abbott and Costello meet the Invisible Man, or like all these other like films like that." Eventually, people were just getting tired of it. Over exaggeration of a very specific thing, the less people start watching. And I'm not saying like the MCU is going to repeat what the Universal Monsters like original cinematic universe is going to do, like when it comes to like their future. But I think if you just do more and more, it's going to turn off more people. There's some people out there who are not willing to like take that angle, because I do love comic books and I do love like, like these characters. They have been huge, right, in my life, but I am willing to admit that it can like tire you out a bit. I wouldn't be sure about that. Well, it's hard to say. And plus, that's what I've been thinking about when it comes to the MCU, and we'll see. And also just comic book films in general, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, no. We are supposed to be getting an Incredibles 3. Let's see if there's a release date. Release date. Oh boy. June 16th of 2028. Let me just check who this director is. Okay. Ooh. Look at this. Like, da, 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 da. Release date. Peter Sun. He's okay, okay. So this person has done like Lightyear, has done this film, Partly Cloudy, also done Ratatouille. That's a great movie. I loved Ratatouille. Oh, I loved this one too. If any of you have seen this one, I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best film, but I personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cute. Okay. Party Central. Yeah, exactly. There is this one movie right here, Hoppers. Here, let me just put this away. I need to put my precious away. Yeah, no, I did hear about this movie. I haven't really watched it, no. Monsters Inc. No way. No way. Hold up. Director. Let me just make sure that this is correct. Okay. Haven't seen Hoppers yet. Heard it was mid. Uh yeah, no, that was something I did hear when it came to like that. So like he probably maybe like worked on a couple of these movies. Let me just make sure for Ratatouille, because Ratatouille, that's just like such a good movie. It's a piece of art. No. Okay. Never mind. Oh yeah, by the way, before we continue, I just need to take a moment to actually show you what Ratatouille like looks like, the food. I really want to try this. Now that just looks so good, to be honest with you. Man. Yes. Making me hungry. Me too. Me too. I had to take a sip after looking at that. Like look at that. Oh boy. Mm. Mm. Okay, so okay. Time jump confirmed to have no chapter. Okay. Let me see if I can find some stuff out about this. Yep. Please, no variety. Thank you, variety. Oh no. Terrible, terrible ads. Alright, let's see. Sees the return. Well, yes, it would be the return of that. The first concept art for the film was revealed during the Disney Entertainment Showcase presentation at D23 Fan Event Friday, along with some new plot details in the third Incredibles film. Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack will move into the leading roles and will be sneaking out of the house at night to protect the city, hiding it from their parents. Ooh, okay. Well, to be honest with you, like with how you say this, when it comes to like sequels of movies, like there are some that sound like very much unnecessary. But to be honest with you, it'll be like a quick jump like Cars 2 to 3. Maybe. But no, this actually sounds cool. I can't wait. To be honest with you, the second Incredibles was actually pretty fire, not gonna lie. Like I did enjoy how that movie like went about things. I don't know, it was pretty good. Will allow the aftermath of the superheroes' legal status, which happened at the end of the second movie in the 2018's Incredibles 2, Battle of the Theories. After a failed mission, they were forced back into hiding, but their superhero family eventually regains public sympathy for superheroes after defeating. Yeah, that was super cool. I can't wait. I can't wait. This sounds super fun. Like, to be honest with you, like, oh, this is going to be so cool. This is going to be really cool. To be honest with you, like, I really do hope we get a math is map. How you say math is math meme kind of thing. I don't know. We'll probably get something like that. What do you kind of agree with? Like, I like to hear thoughts. Like, what's somewhere where you're like, I don't know about this. All right, there we go. Math is math. Exactly. Exactly. I'm always a bit nervous about sequels. Yeah, exactly. There's this one person I watch who was talking about like there shouldn't really be sequels. And I kind of understand where I'm like, yeah, there shouldn't be. Like, there's some movies and some stories out there that don't need a sequel. But I'm also kind of like, we wouldn't have gotten things like Aliens or Terminator 2 or any, or like the first, well, excuse me, the second and third Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Those were really good too. So like, unless there's like an actual idea to like expand on the previous one, then like they can be kind of hit or miss, you know? I think we got enough out of that when it comes to like um, you know, Incredibles. Kind of more self-explanatory. We did talk about the Fox movie and that will be pretty cool when I eventually do watch it at some point, you know? Some sequels shouldn't be considered. Granted, 100 Tarzan 2, even Cinderella 3. Those were decent. Yeah, and kind of like, how do you say? Hmm. How should I say this? Especially with like those direct I say direct to home video stuff. Like Disney did a lot of that growing like in like late 90s, early 2000s. I know I bring up that specific time, but I remember Disney doing that stuff. Like it was extremely common. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I kind of grew up also like yes with the original stuff, but that's how I got to learn about like all those other like very niche and specific things from like Disney and other things like that. But no, I need to watch the Fox movie. It will be really fun. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Let me see if I can actually find it. Where to watch, please. Yeah, it's only been at like how do you say? Film festivals just a bit. It hasn't been released. Yeah, exactly. Like I really want to watch this movie, but like it hasn't been fully released here in the States, which sucks because like it just looks so good. Like I can't show you the trailer or YouTube will have my head if I do so, but go out and watch the trailer for yourself and then you'll be like, "Wow, this is actually cool." And yeah, it sucks when films like this are like very specific, you have to be there kind of thing, which it is cool that you get to have that exclusivity of like, oh, I was there to actually watch that, but it also kind of, I will, awesome. And now, before we end the stream, we will like talk about like this film I'm going to see tomorrow before we get back to the Ghost Rider movie. I'm really stoked for this movie. Like right now it's seems to be doing well. It has like 85 on Rotten Tomatoes and has like 3.2 on Letterbox, so that'll be pretty cool. But no, I'm going to see it tomorrow night. And yeah, we'll see. I miss these kinds of movies that are like, ooh, something like really kind of out there. Like, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. It has Anne Hathaway. It has this guy right here who played as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and a couple other stuff. Excuse me. But yeah, super stoked for this one. And wait, I even saw that the dinosaurs actually have like, you know, hair, which is cool and more accurate to like, dinosaurs as we know them today. Oh, nope. We already talked about Hellraiser. All right. And now with this movie, Ryan, okay, Ryan Gosling. Okay. Now, yeah, like you kind of need to remember like Jurassic Park has really like influenced how people have seen like dinosaurs, even if it's not entirely accurate to like modern understanding of dinosaurs today with advancements in archaeology. But like I don't know, I saw like a clip earlier today and like we got to see like, these dinosaurs having like fur. And I think it was like a bronchiosaurus actually. All right. Jonathan Tooper. All right, let's see about this. Okay. Where is? Wait a minute. Where? Ghost Rider. Okay. Okay. Rider. Okay. Okay. The Atom Project. I mean, no one was around when dinosaurs were, so I think how. Yeah, definitely. Okay. It's your mother. I just an Evangelion marathon lately. Oh man, an Evangelion like marathon. Well, did one? Oh, that's sick, man. That's super cool. Like, it's been such a long time since I actually watched Evangelion. Well, to be honest with you, it's kind of been like it was kind of hard getting into Evangelion, but also like I do find it very interesting to be honest with you. And this night I will probably rewatch Hanging Garden. Hanging Garden. Let me see if I that name sounds familiar to me. Let me see. Hanging. Okay. Not Hanging Flower. Do, 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 do. Hanging Garden. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me just take out that R. Hanging Garden. Not the Hanging Garden that I was thinking of, but this was pretty cool. Dude, after rewatching the end of Evangelion, I had to create a box list created fever dreams. Boy, I used to have a letterbox, but then I got rid of it because I was like, I don't know if I wanted to actually like, you know, do this. Like every film I go to and like write down all my thoughts. But no, like it has grown a lot from what I've heard when it comes to like, you know, this is not the right hanging garden, haha. Yeah, exactly. Like there's probably like maybe a few hanging gardens out there. But no, like The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Yeah. Who doesn't love Hanging Gardens of Babylon? Of Babylon, I guess. We'll just look at this for a sec, I guess. Nice. I actually read this interesting book about, like, I say, that part of the world, and it was actually pretty interesting. Oh, let me look at that one. Okay. Yes. Nice. Movies? Hmm. Nice. Cool. I'm gonna have to look more into this because this sounds actually pretty interesting. Yeah, no, I'll definitely look into this more. Well, after the stream. But no, I don't know how to really feel about like this film. I really hope that we actually get to see a more like comic book accurate version of Blackheart, which by the way, if you don't know who Blackheart is, here let me pull him up for you. Marvel Comics Black. Oh, I think it's one word. I think it is. Blackheart. There. I would love to see like an actual version of like Blackheart in like this Ghost Rider movie. Like if the Ghost Rider movie, when it comes to like Ryan Gosling actually being um Ghost Rider doesn't go so well, which like a part of me thinks it's not going to really be good. I am a little bit afraid about it, but I do hope that maybe we can get like an actual like comic book like version of Blackheart, because Blackheart here, he was in the 2000 movie Blackheart. Here, Ghost Rider. This is supposed to be Blackheart. To be honest with you, if you enjoy like that Ghost Rider movie, to be honest with you, no, it is a great movie, but I really wish that they actually like did something close enough to the actual like version of what Blackheart actually looks like. With this, they kind of were like getting close to that. That's an interesting look. What? This? Yeah, no, Blackheart, he is the son of Mephisto, who is basically the devil in Marvel Comics. Yeah, Marvel Comics. And yeah. No, honestly, like I also remember like seeing this version of excuse me. Of jeez, just give me a sec. Whew. I've been talking a lot. But no, like I remember seeing this character too. Like still like before these characters like became more known to the general public. I also remember seeing Blackheart when I was younger, and I thought he was pretty cool too. But no, like where the original Ghost Rider movie, like it excelled when it came to the actual look of Ghost Rider, and it didn't really do so well when it came to Blackheart. I want to actually see the original version, this guy right here. Because like his look is so cool, and like, hey, if any person from Marvel, like MCU, is like watching, which I really doubt, but if it, like, you can be surprised sometimes, right? But hey, maybe if you incorporate this character, maybe you can do more merchandise with it. That sounds really good because money hungry, remember? No, he would be great. More people should know about Blackheart. I really enjoyed like his character in his comic books. Yeah, for real. But no, like all I can say is that like I'm kind of leaning that it's not going to go so well, but it's kind of hard to say that too because sometimes when this particular kind of movie comes out, everyone will be like, "Oh, it's going to be crappy. It's going to be crappy." And sometimes, it can come out to be true. Some movies can just be genuinely bad, or you can be like with like Sonic movies. Everyone was memeing on like Paramount because of that horrible look that they gave Sonic. Here, if any of you guys remember this, Sonic the Hedgehog, first movie, original design. Everyone was clowning. Yes, exactly. Like when this version of Sonic was first like seen, everyone was clowning on this movie, right? But then they actually made the actual like best decision to actually make it look like the Sonic we all love, know and love. So like, it feels the more like it feels like actual Sonic. And I'm happy that out of all the video game like adaptations out there, at least like Sonic has been doing consistently more well. I can't really look at it right now, but I'll look at it after the stream because I don't want to get hit by whatever when it comes to like you know, no, not Instagram, YouTube. Actually, I'll probably like little what the fuck? Oh, are you talking about with like the original design? Yes. Like, in case you may not remember or just click on it. Here, let me just do. Um Okay. I'm going to be very for real with you. I clicked on it. I made sure to mute it as much as I could. I have a lot of questions. I'm going to like look more into that movie just so I can actually get like have some more context because when you actually sent that to me, there was a lady screaming like ah! And you know what? God, I'm too square to watch the link. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. I swear. It's just a woman screaming and she looks like she's bloody, so don't worry. Everything's okay. I checked it. I verified it. But no, probably when you sent me that it made me think of this. Here, let me just go here. So like when people first saw like the actual look of Sonic, this is what the like those is what those people were like. They're like ah! I don't want to be too loud, but you know what I mean. I'm about to click on it. Oh yeah. I had a lot of questions too. Believe me, the film gets to that scene. It is wild. The characters are all psychologically fucked. Actually, it's quite fitting to watch that after Evangelion. Yeah, I know. Uh, I'm gonna be 100 with you. With how like big and expansive Evangelion is, yeah, there's you know, I would feel that way too. I can't like to be honest with you guys, Evangelion is a lot of stuff. And to be honest with you, like after like I don't feel that way when I watch Evangelion, but when I've watched this one like what the hell am I watching kind of thing, and there's like a lot going on, I'm like, "Oh my god. I need a palate cleanser after that." I see. I see. But no. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, with Sonic here, they made some better changes to actually look like the original Sonic here. And I do think that hopefully when like they put like test audiences for like this version of Ghost Rider, like hopefully when it comes to test audiences can be like, like, oh, this is actually good. You can keep going. Or then they'll be like, I don't know about this. And the same kind of thing actually happened for like let me just pull this up. Hellboy 2019. This was one movie that I was really looking forward to. But like I like when I started hearing about the test audiences, when it came to like this movie specifically, oh no. I was saying to myself, please, no, please. I want Hellboy to do well. Do you know what I mean? It's like this film could have been like all these layers of awesomeness, but then it started to fall short. I'm afraid that like if the test audiences say this isn't going to go well when it comes to Ghost Rider, then it could be the exact same thing like what happened with Hellboy. I hope that this is an actual Ghost Rider and will not just give me a sec. I hope that this will actually be Ghost Rider and not that whack 2.0 version. I I like the actual skull face much better than the bullshit. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like hopefully like there's someone who is like on the CGI team on this film and they're like, yeah, we definitely need to actually like depict this character in the best way we can. or we're going to like have a 2019 Hellboy, uh, example of the exact same kind of thing. How was the second Call to? Here, let me just pull that up. Here. Ghost Rider, yeah. Okay. I was still thinking about Hellboy. I do enjoy Hellboy, and okay, it's called Spirit of Vengeance. This one. This is it. Oh my gosh. You can watch it for free. How was that second? Well, I enjoyed this one. I did enjoy this one. It came out in 2011. I mean the character? What do you mean? Like the actual name of like the person who plays Ghost Rider? I don't know. Be more specific, please. My apologies. I just, you know. he was split in he was split off. It was a show. But no, like when it came to Ghost Rider, like the original movie, I did enjoy it. The only one pet peeve was how they approached Johnny Blaze. It was the original Ghost Rider, but there was a second one. Okay, wait, okay. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, and was this? Yeah, no, this person right here. Yes, we have that person right here. Well, with right here, we're having Johnny Blaze, probably the more iconic compared to the other one. I want to see Blackheart again. I want to see Blackheart again in this like Ghost Rider movie, and I hope it's actually more accurate because like I want to know how you guys actually feel about Blackheart. Here, I did like Blackheart, like kind of, but which one is more? Which one would you actually want to see again? The actual like comic book version, the real version, or would you actually want to see? Oh, okay. Well, it was nice having you in the stream. I hope you have a really great night. And I also hope you have a good day at work too. But no, would you much rather see like the actual comic book version? Yep, take care. Or the actual like this version? Which one's more preferred? I I'm leaning more towards the actual comic books. Okay. Show some images of that whack ass. That design looks like okay. So that design looks like the guy who came up with the Smart Hulk drew it. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna be very for real with you. Okay, now we're deviating away from the Ghost Rider stuff. I have one thing to say. I got to see the new Spider-Man movie. Have anyone seen the Spider-Man movies or don't care to hear like this one thing when it comes to the Hulk? That's my question. Well, you guys are probably oh no. Smart Hulk. I hated this version. I hated this version with a passion of 1,000 suns. You do not understand this. Like when I think of the Hulk, I think of 2008, like 2012 Hulk. Like that version of the Hulk was actually what I thought of when I heard the name the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. About like 2015 to like 2017, that's when things started to change to like the bad direction. And then we got like this version of the Hulk. This is not the Hulk. Like, no, this is not good. I Since you brought up the Hulk, like I was thinking about talking about the new Spider-Man movie since the Hulk is actually in that. But to be honest with you, spoiler alert, when it came to like how you say the Hulk in the new Spider-Man movie, he was actually like back to his roots, and that actually felt more like the Hulk than anything else. Like this version, that's not my Hulk. But Hulk in the new Spider-Man movie, oh boy, Spider-Man, brand new day. This was the actual Hulk that I was like, man, this is great. I'm happy to see him back in his original state. So, I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man. I don't like the pussy Spider-Man approach. I like comic adaptations to be dark. Spider-Man can, though, too. Well, especially if he had the balls to bring Venom and Carnage, but not the softy toddler versions. Yeah. Well, no, to be honest with you, like, when it comes to me with Spider-Man, when anything like that, like, I do like the more darker stuff, but I also, do like things to be a little bit more campy, right? And I do think that with, like, how Spider-Man has been presented in other kinds of media, it's really, like, you know, not made him what he actually is when it comes to comics. Like he is just a nerdy guy and like what else could I even say about him? Kind, yes, and like when he needs to get dark, he can get, more into like, you know, not to the same level as like something like Watchmen, but like, he could go into places. But at least with like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, they did explore a little bit of that, but ooh, I don't give about fuck with the Spider-Man games either. I like compared. Hmm. To be honest with you, to talk about the Arkham games, I much rather actually watch a person actually like. Oh, excuse me. I much rather watch a person play those games because I actually tried to play them a bit like a few months ago, and like it gave me a bit of a headache. So I'd much rather actually like have someone else play those games. And that's kind of the reason why I kind of stay away from like um Resident Evil. Resident Evil is like pretty cool like game series, but I much rather actually have someone else actually play those games and watch them as they do. Like that's how I would say. That's how I would say it. There we go. Perfect. Uh I'll just there. Yeah, yeah. How do you say? With like this Hellraiser game coming out, I'm really looking forward to this I do plan on streaming it and making sure that it doesn't get nuked by YouTube. But like with this kind of game, maybe it can open me up to like more Resident Evil, or like even like Dino Crisis would be a cool thing to explore. Like if this really does like get me into it. Yeah, yeah. To be honest with you, like with Hellraiser, I kind of used to be like, I don't really care for that. But when I actually watched like Hellraiser, I was like, damn, this is actually sick. And like, like there's some people out there that didn't really watch like, you know, like they'll have these very strong opinions about like something like Jason, Dracula, and like all these other horror characters, but they haven't actually consumed the media that those characters exist in. And it's like they hear the opinions of other people and then they allow those opinions to like, influence how they see these characters. And I've dealt with a couple people that weren't willing to admit that no, I didn't actually read this type of comic book or this movie or this whatever. But then when you actually give them this piece of media, like sick, this rocks. And when it comes to Hellraiser, I was kind of that kind of person where I was like, I don't know. But then when I actually watched it, I was like, damn. And just like the lore too is just super cool. Yeah. Super fun. It's going to be really cool to actually like stream that. So, yeah. Let's say if you are especially scared of the combat and if you are also like David Lynch, the actual best star in the survival horror games. Yeah, no, Silent Hill, that's another thing I want to check out. Silent Hill, like, a part of me has been like, oh, it would be fun to actually look into Silent Hill and actually play that stuff. But I don't know. Hopefully, this game does open me up to, as I said, Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, even Bioshock, because I've heard a lot of people say that Bioshock is, like kind of influenced. Well, excuse me. Uh, this Hellraiser game is influenced by Bioshock, and I can kind of see that. And I've never really explored Bioshock anything, so it'll be really cool. So yeah. Well, I am gonna be ending the stream, but I had a great time talking with all of you guys and just talking about movies and other things connected to it. So yeah, no, I do. Well, I really did enjoy this stream. And I hope you guys did too. Just talking about fun stuff like this. Maybe like if I see more movies come out or just something interesting like that, then maybe I can do something like this again and actually like go exploring and just talking about stuff. If you also like Japanese horror and maybe other horror genres like ooh. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, to be honest with you, like it'll be well, how should I say this? I've actually created a horror YouTube channel. There isn't anything out there yet, but I am planning to like make a you know, a giant well, I am planning to make like a lot of different YouTube videos surrounding all different kinds of horror media. And obviously, like if I find something cool or whatever, I'm going to be like, "Hey, I checked this out. It's actually pretty interesting." You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Maybe like it'll be an interesting opportunity to explore like what Japan has when it comes to horror and just like all this other cool stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah. I'll be back on Monday and I'll be probably like either Minecraft or Fortnite or something else. I don't know. We'll see. I am supposed to be getting my extra storage, so hopefully by then I can get like a different game and like have it a part of the roster. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah. All right. Well, it is getting pretty late for me, so I'm going to head off, but you guys have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world or whenever you're watching this. On YouTube, well, over there on YouTube and here on Twitch, obviously. So I'll see you guys on Monday. All right. See you guys.